Hi, my name is Nuno Pimenta, and my goal is to help you sing better, easier, and healthier. In this video, we're gonna talk about what it is, in my opinion, a good way to prepare a cover song from the moment of the idea up to the performance or recording of the song. I had this idea because lately, in the Singing Academy Vocal Emotion, we've been having a lot of concerts with different interpretation concepts of other songs, and later in September we're gonna have many single recitals where each singer has to prepare a solo concert with cover songs or originals, all within a concise and thought out story or message we want to convey to the audience. As you can imagine, we go through this song preparation process quite often, and I found that there are a number of steps that we always go through or should go through. So, first of all, quite obvious, we must know the song by heart. By this I mean knowing the song structure. For example, the music of the night from The Phantom of the Opera starts with an instrumental intro, followed by a small verse and lift, and interrupts with another instrumental. After that, it goes into a cycle of verse, lift and chorus 2 times, and then followed by a verse, a lift and an outro. Knowing this helps us know the whole scope of the song before getting into the specific parts of the story. The melody, as it is the most memorable and identifiable part of the song, even when you don't know the lyrics, you almost always remember the melody. That's the song's identity to the listener, and you should always know the original melody by heart, even if you're going to change it afterwards. A melody is like a story in itself. Even if you have your own way of telling it, the story already exists, and you should always help the audience to follow the story that you're telling. You can only do this if you know the original melody by heart. Chord progression? A chord progression creates a mindset, a mood for the melody, for the song. Knowing this mindset, knowing how every chord changes to the next, knowing what to expect, helps you not only get into the song's mindset better, but also orient yourself throughout the song's structure. Of course, I don't mean that you have to know the chords' names or other technical stuff. What I mean is knowing them by ear, by memory, expecting specific chords during specific parts of the song. Rhythm. Time and time again, I hear other singers start verses before they're supposed to. They sing faster than the song's tempo, or not even starting a specific part of the song because they're lost. Knowing how to sing in tempo with the song is a fundamental skill, and as a singer, you should always be able to do that. This doesn't mean that you actually have to sing exactly with the same tempo as the original, but that should be by choice, not a limitation. Lyrics. This is where I fall short. The lyrics are my nemesis when singing a cover song. As with any text, we can simply memorize it, and if that's enough, good for you. But for those of us that have a harder time memorizing lyrics, there are certain steps we can take to help. Sing the song time and time again, write the lyrics by hand. Handwriting stimulates your brain into remembering more than writing in a computer. Writing and structuring the lyrics on a paper helps with the visual memory of the lyrics themselves. Focus on contextualizing each part of the lyrics with the melody in that moment. Structure the lyrics as a story that you tell. Imagine situations in your mind for each part of the lyrics. If you have other methods for memorizing lyrics, share with us in the comments below. Story behind the song. Every song has a story, a reason for being, a message that the artist wants to convey. It may be a hypothetical situation, an experience from the artist's life, something he observed, etc. But there's always a story. Try to understand that story, even if it's just your interpretation of the lyrics' meaning. That will help you better understand the song itself, better identify with its message, and better deliver your own version of the story. The artist. Knowing the artist helps with the story of the song, how that artist usually tells a story, what kind of songs he usually sings, and his style. This helps you get better acquainted with the delivery and the song itself. All of this is important for you to be able to establish the difference between what's the original song and what's your version. If this video is bringing you any value, please tap the like button, as that would help me and the channel reach more singers like you. After knowing the song by heart, let's create our own interpretation of the song. A singer is an artist, and as an artist, you have your own expression, your own experiences and feelings, which should always play a role in your interpretation of a song. You should always try to connect with the story from a personal point of view. Use your own experiences to find similar feelings between yourself and the message. Try to identify those specific feelings throughout the song's lyrics to help you better create a sense of belonging within the story. After that, depending on the purpose of the performance, you can create your own interpretation by changing different aspects of the original song or creating new layers for the performance itself. Musically speaking, The tone in which we're singing our cover doesn't have to be the original tone. We may want to change it because it's too difficult for our vocal range or simply doesn't make sense for our version of the song to sing in the original tone or key. We can also change something so structurally fundamental as the style of the song. You see this many times with acoustic covers, piano covers, metal covers, jazz covers, blah 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 covers, etc. If changing the style makes sense to you as an artist, why not? Something that we see more often is differences in the melody. You don't have to be stuck singing the exact same way as the original artist sang. You should sing the melody as it makes sense to you, to your version of the story. However, always be careful to not alienate the audience by changing the original melody too much. You should always create convergence points for the audience to identify with and follow the song according to the memory they have of the original version. As I said before, chord progression is used to set the mood of the song, to convey feelings, profound happiness, betrayal, watching the sunrise after crying because of a breakup, the sense of hope, even when facing impossible odds. To help with progression or structure, all of this can be changed to fit your own view of the story. For example, a song that tells a story about betrayal, but that you feel it doesn't convey that feeling strongly enough, and you change the chord progression to better represent a sense of loss, despair, world turning upside down, etc. Another good example for chord progression changes are those cover songs that are minor chords version of the original song. The way you sing the melody and your singing technique should also adapt to the story you're telling with your cover song. For example, a toned-down piano cover of a hard rock song will always be more discreet than the original, and you can and should adapt your singing technique to better fit that mood. Visually speaking, depending on whether you're just performing/recording the audio of the song or you're doing it visually, your interpretation should always take into account who's hearing and seeing your performance. Even if it's just recording it for yourself, there's always a story you want to tell or feelings you want to share or remember. Your physical interpretation of the song should be in sync with the story, but also the space where you're performing. It's different to perform in a stadium with a huge audience or in a small studio with a more intimate mood. Nonetheless, you should always communicate with the audience. By this, I don't mean that you must be always looking at the audience and never close your eyes or turn your back. I'm simply saying you should remember that you're performing for someone and that you want that audience to connect with you and follow you on that journey within that story, to share those feelings, to be with you and hear and feel what you're saying. A lot of that goes into what you're physically saying. It helps to practice your song in front of a mirror. A lot of times our facial expressions aren't saying what we are trying to say, and our body isn't conveying the energy or feeling we want to share with the audience. The way we're dressed, though it's less important than many other aspects, helps convey the mood for our performance. We should always dress accordingly, not only to our performance, but also the context where we are performing. Now, about our surroundings, we can think about set composition, lights, and, if applicable, camera shots. All these help better tell the story, set the mood, convey emotions, etc. After creating our interpretation, we should prepare our performance to best we can. First of all, we should be able to perform it effortlessly. For that, we should practice singing it over and over again, taking into account what our singing technique should be in every part of the song. If we see there's a specific note we can't reach or sing with the intended technique, we can either do specific exercises to try and improve those parts, or we can change those parts to better suit our current technical level. It's your version of the song, you sing it the way it suits you best. Another way to prepare is to ask yourself what can go wrong during the performance and what can you do about it. This may be about stress-related problems, duet partners that may not know the lyrics, or musicians that may skip a beat or play a wrong chord. Like Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. So you might as well be prepared for it and get the best out of each situation. Finally, the performance comes, and the most important thing I can say to you now is enjoy. All this work you've done till now is to prepare you for this performance, so now you just have to trust and enjoy every bit of it the best you can. If you want to learn more how to sing better, easier and healthier, please subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon to receive notifications about future videos. So that's it for this video. I hope it helped you think more specifically about preparing a cover song and the many things we can think about when creating our interpretation. So keep on singing and share with us your progress, your videos in the comments below. We'd love to see them. Bye!